guys. Olympus would be that way.
Death, or the idea of dying. It is described as the end of life for a person or an organism, and is a universal process that occurs in all beings. This tragic and incredibly somber event is feared by all, causing most people to do their best to avoid it. But the game Hades takes off its glove, backhand slaps you, and tells you to pull up your britches, kid. I'm bringing the pain.
That was for last time.
In September of 2020, Supergiant released their newest game, Hades. And since its launch, I've seen it get nothing but critical acclaim and high praise from every direction. So I always knew I wanted to play and talk about the game, and after getting gifted a copy sometime around Christmas, I knew this is something that I've got to do right now. This roguelike action game has a very simple premise. You play as Zagreus, son of Hades, ruler of the dead, and king of the underworld. Zagreus has grown weary of his life in the house of Hades, deep down in the underworld, and wishes to escape to the land of the living, to be amongst his other relatives high on up on Mount Olympus. Now Zagreus does have more motives other than just escaping, but I think that should be something you kind of learn about while playing the game, so I'll keep it quiet. Now what the game may or may not lack in terms of story, it easily makes up for it in terms of the lore and overall the world it builds. Now I know you might be saying, but ChazmaN, that should be something easy for them. They have the groundwork and foundation already built with all of the stories within Greek mythology. And yes, that is true, but I do think, in my opinion, they do create something wholly unique and really make it their own. Each Greek god and or other Greek mythology character are expertly voice casted and are given personalities and traits that are totally unique and differentiate them from the others. Whether interacting with the dude bro himself, Poseidon, or checking in on the chilled and laid back Dionysus, or the super serious and hardened war veteran Athena. Dialogue with each character on each playthrough varies incredibly, and seems to just unendingly diverge. I mean, at the time of this video, I've beaten the game about 3 times, and I'm about 50 hours in, and I'm still coming across brand new branches of dialogue, and it's really quite remarkable. As for why all of these gods and other Greek mythology characters are attempting to get into contact with you, A, you're technically related to them, so I think they want to see you up on Mount Olympus and join the family business. B, it seems like they're really bored and have nothing else to do. And C, it's very evident in a lot of the dialogue that Hades is maybe the least liked member of the family, so perhaps they're all just doing it just to tick him off or make him mad. Each deity, when met, will offer you a choice of one of 3 boons, or basically blessings of the gods. Now these boons or upgrades play an absolutely integral part in what is maybe, in my opinion, the most important aspect of Hades, its modification system and its gameplay. Each boon essentially has a different effect on one of 6 ancient Greek mythological weapons that you can choose before attempting each escape of the underworld. On top of that, many of the boons come in different types of rarities, so normally you would say, why not just always take the one that's the highest rarity out of the 3? But the cool thing about Hades is that's not always the case, or what's best for your kind of rollout that you're putting out there. For an example, if you can do it, one of the combinations I really like to use was trying to go for boons from Demeter, who is the goddess of seasons, and primarily gives the element of cold, which freezes enemies and causes slowdown. Then I really like loading up on a bunch of boons from Ares, the god of war, more in particular a lot of his Blade Rift oriented abilities, which when combined with Demeter's abilities meant that I could basically leave these AoEs that slow down enemies all over the battlefield, then just kind of dash all over the battlefield, leaving these giant blades to just demolish my enemies. Another thing to take into account is abilities that your enemies have. I mean, you don't have to just go for the 2-god or 2-element model that I suggested. You can throw in some boons from Hermes, which will increase your speed, allowing you to get away from enemies, or go for boons from Athena that are heavy on protection. The customization in this game in terms of the boon structure is just pretty great. Fortunately, in a super interesting way, the levels within Hades do not make it easy on you to get or find the boons that you may really want. Which means every playthrough of Hades is never exactly like your previous one. And this is all done through procedurally generated levels or randomly generated levels. After cleaning out a chamber, you're normally given the option to choose between 2 paths, and depending on whatever door you choose, whatever reward is above the door, that is the reward you're given for completing that next chamber. Rewards within the game, though, aren't just limited to boons and modifications. There's all sorts of different types of currencies that can be used to customize or pimpify your Papia's house, the House of Hades. Or during one of your runs, you can always stop by Charon, yes, that Charon, the ferryman of the River Styx, and browse his wares. But be careful though, he's a hard bargain. Alright, I can go on and on about this game, but I feel like I definitely need to wrap up my thoughts. And hopefully, as you can tell, I freaking love Hades. Just about every aspect of this game, honestly, I'm kind of enthralled in. The art is beautifully drawn, the music is super kick-ass, if you can't tell from the music that's been playing this whole time. And the gameplay and just variety of styles within the gameplay is ridiculously addicting, and honestly I feel like I'm probably going to continue to play this game, and who knows how many more times I'll finish the game, maybe 5 more? Why not make it 10? Finally, I'll go ahead and say it, if I had played this game in 2020, this game easily and by far would have been my favorite game of 2020, and yes, that means my game of the year. I really can't recommend this game enough. It's really quite a great value for 25 bucks on the Nintendo eShop. Of which, yes, that's why I played it on my Nintendo Switch. Also, to anybody out there who doesn't know, Supergiant also made the game Bastion from 2011. And if you haven't played that game, maybe I'll do a video on it later, but you should definitely go play that one. Anyways guys, I really enjoyed my visit to Tartarus, Asphodel, Elysium, and the Temple of Styx. I really can't wait to revisit those locations, and overall I just wanted to ask, did you guys like my review and was I able to convince you to try the game out? Or if you've already played it, what are your thoughts from the game? I'd love to hear back from you. And like always, I just want to say thank you so much for watching guys, I love you, please be safe, and I cannot wait to deliver you guys another video on the next EnteR ChazmaN. Bye guys. Hey now, I see you made it through the video and liked or even possibly loved it. Well, if you want to see any more additional content or you'd like to get into contact with me, consider checking out some of my social medias right here. And if you'd like to go above and beyond and want to support my channel monetarily, here is also a couple places where you can do so. And if nothing else, simply liking, sharing, and subscribing would make me the happiest ChazmaN on the planet.